So you clicked on this video because you're moving from Texas to Loudoun County or Northern Virginia, and you want to know what are some of the similarities and some of the differences. Well, stay tuned because I'm going to break those down for you. My name is Laura Griffin. I'm with Loudoun Living at Pearson Smith Realty. I'm a top-selling real estate agent here in the Loudoun County, Northern Virginia area, and I help clients all the time that are relocating from outside of the area into the Loudoun County area, or who are buying and selling just in Loudoun County within Loudoun County. I also run a popular moms group called the Loudoun Moms, with everything you need to know about being a parent or a mom here in Loudoun County. So you're moving from Texas. How exciting is that? Welcome to Northern Virginia, the DMV, NoVA, Loudoun County, whatever you want to call it. We've got multiple different names. You will figure that out very soon. So I wanted to do a video because in the last month, I've had two clients who are relocating from the Texas area into Northern Virginia, into Loudoun County. And so I kind of got some of my differences from them of things that they found that are a little bit different from here. And as well for my husband, who's originally from Dallas, Texas. So I asked him, I said, what are the differences between living there and living here in Loudoun County? And if you have any questions about moving or relocating to the area, don't forget to email me at the address below or call me at this phone number. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos we have coming up. So let's get into it. I think one of the biggest differences between maybe coming from like Dallas or Austin or San Antonio and coming to Loudoun County is we don't have a big downtown city area in Loudoun County. We're made up of a whole bunch of little, I call them like little cities, little towns. We're more like little suburban areas. So we don't have like a massive downtown area with skyscrapers and all those kinds of things with a big downtown area. I mean, Leesburg would be the closest, or maybe even Purcellville, but it's just a really small town. You know, just like a few streets of just local businesses. So we really don't have that big mega downtown feeling. If you want that, you're going to be going into like Fairfax County, or Arlington, or maybe even going into Washington, D.C. So we really just don't have that big metropolitan downtown area. And so that's probably one of the biggest differences when people are moving out here. It's very much more suburban. So that kind of makes us a little bit more unique. Next, the biggest challenge that people have when they're moving here is the price point and what you're getting as far as a home. So $500,000 here gets a dramatically different house than $500,000 back home. Here you're looking at probably a condo townhome, or a townhome, depending on the area, for about $500,000. We do have brick exteriors, which is nice. I know that's always one thing that's people tend to like, but we don't have like stucco. You might get vinyl siding, those kinds of things, but it's definitely not gonna have, you're not gonna find like a single story rambler on a few acres of land. That's just not what it's going to be. It's gonna be a little bit of a smaller, more dense housing. You could sometimes in the downtown Leesburg area find a smaller rambler or a two-story home in that 500 to 600 range, but it's going to be in more like a downtown historical district feel, and so a little bit of a smaller lot, but definitely not going to get the large properties, estates on land, brick siding, all those kinds of things. If you're looking for more land because maybe you have horses or you want more of that kind of like a rural lifestyle, then you're probably going to want to look in Western Loudoun, and that would be Round Hill, Purcellville, Hamilton, Berryville, those kinds of areas, and some parts of Leesburg where you're going to, in Leavittsville, where you're going to get more of that little bit more land, a single family home, probably like a ranch or a brick style, those kinds of things. But typically $500,000 is going to get you a completely different home here than it will back there. So depending on your take on weather, it can be a good thing or a bad thing that we're a little bit different. So we're definitely a little bit colder, actually probably a lot colder. I'm not gonna lie. The fall, we start to switch over around like Thanksgiving time. I always say after Halloween, it all kind of just goes downhill until we get to Easter, and then it kind of comes back up. But we definitely get snow. You know, I'm from California originally. My husband's from Texas. And so when we moved here, we definitely had to buy like a winter coat. Like we were at the North Face outlet in Leesburg and got winter that first year because we were freezing. So definitely need like snow boots, jackets, gloves. my feet are always cold, so I always wear like Ugg boots in the winter, or my other black like leather boots if I have to go out with clients or whatnot, because I'm always freezing. Feet are always cold, lots of scarves, lots of hats. You have to embrace the coat, which is totally different for both of us, but we definitely are a little bit colder. Our summers and our spring and fall, we definitely get a little bit more rain than you guys do. So, which is why everything's always so lush and green and everything. That's what really keeps us looking really, as I say, keeps it all pretty and keeps your grass nice. So that's definitely a difference with the weather from Texas to here. But on the flip side, we occasionally will get a little bit of remnant of a hurricane that comes up, but it's not to the extent that I think that Texas gets the hurricanes, where there's substantial flooding and damages. We really don't see that, especially here in the Loudoun County area. If we do see a lot of flooding, it's usually like Alexandria, where it's a little bit lower and it comes in off the Potomac. And then tornadoes really don't have a lot. I mean, once in a while you'll see a small one touch down, but it's not to the destruction level that you guys see. From what I hear, it's the Blue Ridge Mountains kind of protect us and insulate us for some reason, so we don't get a lot of that. But definitely the weather's going to be a little bit colder, but then again, not as hot, I don't feel, in the summertime from when I've gone back to Texas, and less major weather events that hit us here. So that's kind of a nice thing. But if you really like warm weather kind of consistently throughout the year, depending where you are in Texas, you're definitely going to be in for a shock, and you're definitely going to be hitting up the outlet at the North Face and all that, because you're going to need some gear. And lastly, one of the differences, depending on where you live in Texas, we typically have more job opportunities here. So whether that's working for the government, one of the various government agencies is here in the Northern Virginia area, in the DMV, or tech. Loudoun County is known as the East Coast Silicon Valley. We have a lot of tech jobs, a lot of data centers, Amazon Web Services, Google is here. You name it, the company is here. So definitely, depending on where you're from in Texas, we may have more job opportunities for you, which is really a good thing. So definitely, if you're relocating for a job, you're in a great space with tons of job opportunities. And in most cases, if you're willing to drive a little bit further, you can work for the government downtown in DC. If you want to stay a little bit closer in, there are other government agencies that are actually coming outside of DC, but definitely I think our job and job security here is a little bit stronger than it is in Texas. So if you're moving from Texas to Loudoun County, I hope you enjoyed our video with all the different things that you need to know that are different from living in Texas to living here in Northern Virginia, NoVA, or the DMV. If you're thinking about relocating or moving within or buying and selling in Loudoun County, I'd love to be a resource for you. My email is below. My phone number is 571-354-7325. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can catch any of the videos we have coming out weekly.